Don't work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. This is the Swagger Studio series. I'm your host, Mike King. I appreciate you being here with me. The Swagger Studio series is sponsored by RBI Services, which is Jimmy Comer, Chris Smith. They help us stay on the air, and we find and we talk to talented people about what they do, their journey, and they perform. And we are here coming to you live from the Common House. It is my honor to bring to you American Idol finalist Shayy Winn. Shayy, welcome to the program.
Hey.
So how are you? So you were famous. We got to give a shout out. Thanks to your mom for helping make this happen. It's always good mom support. So you are famous, and do people talk to you and act different around you?
Yeah, they do.
Like me?
No, it's a little bit weirder because I'm still not used to it, even though it's been about 2 years. I'm still not completely used to the difference in people coming up to me and like crying automatically. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
So let me ask you. We talked about sisters. Like I said, I have a sister. The interview wasn't supposed to start like this. So hi, I'm Mike King. You're Shayy Winn. Explain to folks who you are and what you do, and then we're going to get into the good stuff.
Okay. So hi, my name is Shayy. I am 20 years old. I am an artist. I made it to the top 40 on season 17 of American Idol, and I now sing and I songwrite, and yeah, I'm just pursuing my dream.
You're just pursuing your dream. Okay, so there's an interesting story. Well, it's not interesting that you battled and you overcome some sight disabilities, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about how that impacted your life. And I've heard you on other programs being interviewed, how serious it was and is, and you really battle it, and it's inspiring. So let's talk to folks. People out there running into some people have issues.
Right.
Talk to people how to overcome some of those issues because you seem to be doing it. You got it on point.
So the best way I helped work through my disability, because I am legally blind or visually impaired, was to change my mindset on things. So a lot of people, the first thing you start to think is like the negative, because the negative is easy to go to, but sometimes you just got to take it. You got to be like, what's the positive? And you got to take the positive aspect. And then when you take that positive aspect, you got to let that kind of like fuel you through. Because that's what I did. I had to turn my situation into a positive. I said, everything happens for a reason. It happened for a reason. And I'm going to accept it. And it's going to be all right. And so far, I have not been proven wrong.
No, you got it going on. So was it a gradual or was it all of a sudden, okay, this is my situation and I got to make the best of it?
So mine was like all of a sudden. So I had started my junior year of high school, and then like a week or two into junior year, I'm like, Mom, I can't see. I'm like, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. I just can't see the stuff no more. I can't read the textbook. I can't see the board. Something's not adding up. So then we went to go get my eyes checked, and then that's when it just started to spiral from there, going down.
So a shout out to my man Mike Lee. He is the coolest visually impaired man I know. I mean, from the dressing, and you go right down there with the styling too. You guys go together. And so he says he has to let people know about his blindness because he doesn't know when to drop it on people because that's not the first thing I see.
Right.
Are people shocked when they realize that you're visually impaired?
Very much so. A lot of people go, "Oh, you don't look blind," because apparently, I guess from some of the movies that you've seen, from the movies that they show on TV and things, there's a way to look blind, but they don't realize that we all look just like you guys.
I told Mike Lee that he had to speak for all the blind folks who are out there because we don't know very many. Mm-hmm. So I knew it was Helen Keller. And then he had said, Stevie Wonder. There's certain things that he talked about, talking about seeing people's spirit. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's not just everything isn't about what you see. It's about, and friendship and all those things that it's not defined by whether you can see. Let's talk a little bit about how you see the world, how you navigate being visually impaired.
So how I navigate it due to how much I have a vision, because I don't have a whole lot, but I don't have like very extremely little. So in my right eye, I have what's called tunnel vision, but trying to look out of it, there is like trying to look out of the small hole, you won't see anything. And then in my left eye, it's kind of like a fog. every day, or like a terrible rainstorm just every day in that eye. And then it can vary due to weather and lighting situations. So you have a lot of things that go into factoring that. So the way I navigate the world right now is definitely auditory. So I'm listening to what you're saying, the inflections in your voice and how you talk to me. That's what I really listen for. So everything is pretty much auditory.
And you can tell when people are nervous.
Yeah.
Do I sound nervous?
No.
I don't. Did I, when I first met you, did I sound nervous?
Not really.
Oh, good. Okay. I've been practicing. My wife is like, hey, chef, my wife, Dinah's like, Mike, don't act like you. Like, don't be nervous. Because it is something we don't know how to deal with things that we don't deal with.
Right.
And so it kind of scares a friend of mine. I asked her son had cancer, and I asked her, how you doing? And she's like, that's a dangerous question. Because when you ask a person how they doing, you might not like the answer because the answer might scare people because,
right.
It's like, how you doing? I'm doing great, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know about this. So you were down, you went to Thomas Dale, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you're there. And I heard a story about that you were going to be in the big production and you were determined you were going to be in the production.
I was.
You were not letting somebody take your spot.
No, I was not. I got
visually impaired and all. You was just
exactly.
Like, you ain't coming for mine.
Exactly. I got it fair and square. Fair and
Man,
square.
that's cool. I guess the person said, yeah, I'm on this spot. And you're like, no. You ain't getting my spot.
No. I was in the hospital learning my lines and rehearsing my songs while I was in recovery. Still had staples in my head. And I literally just I was in the ICU still. I'm learning the songs, doing all of that because I was like, I'm not missing this. And then my theater teacher came to visit me at the hospital. And the first thing I said, I didn't say hello. I didn't say anything. I said, so I still got my spot, right?
That's how you ain't playing. You ain't gave my spot away. Whoever they think they roll it in there, they know, not today. They say you're gonna learn today. Okay, so you come back, the teacher work with you to learn learn the moves and all those things. How special is that? Like that teacher?
It was really amazing. So my specialty center coordinator, Mr. Barrick, he actually,
we got to give a shout out to Mr. Barrick. Okay.
Mr. Barrick.
Okay.
But yeah, he actually made it really like it was confusing for all of us because none of us know what's going on. So this is new to me, it's new to them. We're all like, how are we gonna do this? And Mr. Barrick was just taking it step by step with the other teachers, trying to get them to understand because he was like, he also didn't want my role to go to nobody else. He was like, I like this on you, it fits you, so this is what I want you to do. And I was like, okay, Mr. Barrick, we're gonna do it, but we're gonna have to figure it out. So we had to do like change the set a little bit, add some foam things everywhere. And it was cool because all the students were willing to help, giving like behind the scenes signals so that the audience didn't know what was going on because they never informed the audience that I was visually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. My school was like, we're not gonna take the pity parties, we're not gonna tell them nothing and just let it go. So yeah, we had code signals and different things on the floor, different textures because I played a slave, so I had bare feet. So
and what play was this?
It's called Aida.
And you had a little part in that, didn't you?
I had a large part. I was.
Excuse me. Okay, don't get it twisted. So you were not giving up the part of Aida.
No, I was not.
Okay.
Because she was a fiery princess, and I like that because I'm sort of fiery. I have a little fire in me. So,
is that what mom and sis would say? You got a little fire in you?
Would you say that, Mom?
She got mom said yes. Well, clearly, when they walk in and say you didn't get my spot up, that's the person who says. So it's Mike King. This is the Swagger Studio series. Shayy Winn is gonna perform with us, but we're talking right now. So the idol experience, I saw somewhere you said wouldn't do it again. It's okay. So we see it's on TV. That's all edited down. So we got to give a shout out to folks who do the editing, like my man Emmanuel from DV Arcade. So we just see the little highlights of it.
Yep.
What were some of the highlights? Let's talk about that.
Some of the highlights for me was definitely my audition, group night, and my finale. My finale. So my elimination and my finale performance.
Okay, what were the tough times?
Group night. Group night was really tough because they handed me a small piece of paper with small font on it. And I was good. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to read this. And my group members, luckily, they were really kind and they really helped. And my mom, too, really helped. So I was struggling because they were trying to make it easier for me by trying to set it up a certain way. But every time we would ask the producers, can we do it this way? They were like, no, no, no. So then I was getting frustrated and they were getting a little frustrated, but for me, the frustration came out in tears. So everybody got to see me ugly cry on TV because I got frustrated.
But you captured America's heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Idol's over, you go back home. What happens then? Now people look at you different. People start getting squirrely with you, like hey, hi, all those things. You start getting people hitting on you saying, "Hey, would you like to come on my show?" Like me. Exactly. That's how it works. You get famous. Hey, my name is Mike King. Would you like to come on? So what happens then? You go back home. Now you're chasing the dream of being an artist.
So once I got back home, from Idol, from getting eliminated, I had went back to my classes. So at the time, nobody knew because, like you said, it's all edited, it's pre-recorded. So when I got eliminated, nobody knew yet.
They just knew you were an American Idol.
No, they didn't even know that yet. The commercials hadn't even come up yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're walking around Thomas Dale like, yo, I'm a big deal. Y'all just don't know it yet. Yo, I'm on TV. So
because I wasn't allowed to tell.
I know. We had so Chef Michelle is here with Chef, what's his name from Hell's Kitchen? Chef Glenn was talking about being on there and not being able to tell.
Right.
So you're walking around school.
Not telling. I can't tell anybody.
And you just looking at people like, yeah. Okay. So what happened when word gets out that you were an American Idol?
When word got out, it was pretty interesting. I got flooded with things from Instagram of people that stopped talking to me after I lost my sight. Actually,
they got scared.
They started apologizing saying that, hey, I hope that we could be friends again or something like that. And then you got new people that never spoke to me in the hallway or even kicked my cane at points in time. Now saying, "Oh my gosh, hey girl," like they know me. And things like that. So it was a little weird for me because I'm like, oh, so now y'all want to talk to me. So now I'm no longer the windshield wiper. Okay. I got it.
Now all of a sudden I'm the deal and you guys want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So when you're out there performing and you write your songwriter, correct? Mm-hmm. Do you get it all at one time or do you get it in bits and pieces?
I get it in bits and pieces. So like I'm still developing, getting those skills back. Since I have to do them, I won't say back because I still have them, but it's doing it a little bit differently. So that's the matter. So I used to be a very visual person, like all aspects of my life was visual. Piano was visual. So when I was learning piano, I used to not practice. I'm terrible at practicing. So I used to not practice and all I had to do was watch the teacher play it once.
And
she played it once and I got it. But now I have to go back and now I'm learning it by ear. So I have to learn to listen and hear what it is they're playing and try to play it back.
So as you can see, my interviewing style isn't normal. Things just pop into my head. So I showed you and I sent you the link of Mike Lee at the Mona Lisa. Mm-hmm. And when he told me he sat at the Mona Lisa for hours looking at the Mona Lisa, I'm like, sir, you're a blind man. What are you doing? He says, I took it all in. I could listen and hear. And he said, I had seen it before when I had sight, and all I did was walk by. Right. I just walked by, and that's what I did. When I lost my sight, I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to the people who are all around. Do you hear and take in things different now?
Definitely.
You're an old person. You're all at 20. So, woo, Lordy, so you got a long history.
Not really.
Exactly.
But yes, I do. It everything does sound a lot different, and you pay more attention to different things. And soon, like ear training, you're learning to tune in certain things, tune out certain things. Like I've learned how to tune out certain noises going on, especially when I'm listening to like traffic, because that's how we cross the street. We don't cross the street by seeing the cars. We got to listen for the engines and know which side of the street to cross with, so that they protect us from the other cars, so that if there was ever a car accident, you hit the car, not me.
Man,
yeah,
I never thought about it. See, Mike Lee, he didn't give me that one.
Yeah, so we have to sit when we're at a stoplight, we have to face the direction, put our cane out so that all the drivers know, and we have to stay there for a moment and we listen to figure out, are we at a stop sign, stoplight, what kind of thing are we at? If we're at a stoplight, what kind of stoplight is it? Is it a semi-automated or is it automated? Which means that's the number of cars and stuff. So Once we figure that stuff out, now we have to figure out, okay, so which direction are we going and which traffic are we following? Are we following the traffic behind us or the traffic across from us? And whichever one we're following, we're gonna listen for them. And once that car hits the middle of the intersection, so we listen for the engine. Once we hear it in the middle of the intersection, that's when we start crossing the street.
Well, okay. That's wow. I gotta talk to Mike Lee. I thought he had schooled his boy, but I mean, he didn't left me out in the world not knowing. So the idea of it is you're operating in a world that's different. It's the same world that we are, but we're just visually looking at it, and you're doing all the other things. How has that changed you from a singer, songwriter, performer perspective?
It's changed me in that aspect because not everything is about what it looks like anymore. So how before when I was sighted, I could realize a lot of things were getting, tempted for me by social media and like what everything looked like. Oh, it don't look like this, it don't look like that, so I can't do that. I don't look like her. I can't be that. But now it's like I don't know what she looked like. I just know what I can do and what I like. So I'm gonna just go ahead with that. What I can see. I can see that. I'll take that.
So you're saying staying in your lane.
Yeah. So it makes it's easier to be yourself. And also it's got me more in tune with my own emotions, which helps me as an artist being more vulnerable and open to my audience. So y'all can feel when I'm feeling when I'm singing the song and or writing it.
Is being an artist as cool as it seems? It seems pretty cool. So for people who aren't singers or artists, it seems like it's pretty fun.
It is. It has its ups and its downs.
Okay, what's the downs?
The downs, I would say sometimes like the business aspect
Well,
can get a little nasty.
Yeah, it is. That is the shiesty side of,
Yeah.
and you always hear about people like the show part. It's the business side.
Right. I like the recordings and actually like building the song is the fun part. That's the actually creating the song, sitting there and creating it and being like, once you finish, you're like, you sit back and you're like, whoa, I just did that. That's me.
That's me. So when you are, like I said, my interviewing style is just a little different. Mike King, Shayy Winn is here. This is ESPN Richmond 106.1. It's the Swagger Studio series. That's where we are. We bring game changers to you. And the Swagger series is brought to you by Jimmy Comer, Chris Smith of RBI Services. Those guys are out there doing big things, totally supporting the community. And we're coming to you from the Common House, which is at 303 West Broad. It is the premier social club co-working space in the area. I'm here, Shayy Winn from American Idol season 17.
Yes.
All righty. When you were doing these videos, so me and my wife saw the videos, how when the videos are done, will people come to you and say, okay, so I got to go back. I asked Mike Lee about dating, and he said his friend would tell him what girls look like. I'm like, dude, that's dangerous. I mean, that's to put a lot of pressure on your friend.
Them. You gotta trust them.
That's what I'm saying.
You better have a good friend.
You gotta trust your man. Like, yo, man, come on now. I'm your boy. You gotta do me some justice right here. So when you are out there and you're dealing with folks, how is it that when men meet you, guys meet you, are they nervous?
I would say nervous. A lot of them are nervous. I've had people tell me that they don't know how to talk to me anymore. Yeah. Because it's like, what do I say? And I was like, well, you have to realize, one, I am still human. I'm still the same person I was before. I just cannot see you the same. So having the same conversation, I said my mouth still works the same way. You're gonna get what you get out of it. So I mean, talking to me isn't that big of a deal, but to other people, it is very different for them to actually speak to you and things like that. So it's actually pretty hard. I've actually talked to my friends about it. Even the friends that are still here that I talked to them today, I'm like, how do you feel about it? Because I know how I feel about what happened to me, but how do you feel about it knowing me for 16 years sighted and now the last 4 have been unsighted? They're like, I mean, now I'm like kind of used to it, but at the same time, I still forget because it's like y'all aren't different, but based off of the things that we see, we're told that y'all are different or like things because like you look so normal, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. Sure.
How is it, so we can talk to your mom, how is it about the independence part that mom has to let go? We all have people who have kids who are 20 and 21. Mom has still plays a part in it. And I guess I can't ask you, I'd have to ask mom, How is it that your daughter's going out in the world? That world can be competitive with the whole singing and entertainment world. It can be brutal. How is it that you keep your spirits up during all of that when things are going good and then when things are not going good? Do you live for the next performance or what do you do?
When things aren't going so well, what I'll do is I'll take a step back for a moment, and then I gotta like I said, change my mindset. I gotta sit down, breathe, gather my thoughts, and be like, bruh, look at all the things that you have already gotten done, that you've accomplished, and you could do so much more. This is what you want to do, right? So you got to kind of give yourself like a pep talk. Like my best friend does it all the time. When we was running track, she'd sit there and talk to herself right before she about to run. And she looked crazy and I don't know what, but it works. So you got to kind of like uplift yourself. But also I got my family that is very supportive. So they were behind me. So they would help with the lifting up, and my friends too, sometimes when they would go.
Oh, you ran track?
I did.
So did I.
Oh,
yeah.
What did you run?
I ran 100 and the 200.
That was me.
Right.
I was the 100, the 200, and the 4x100.
Oh yeah, I could do. Yeah, back in I was something in the 70s and 80s. Like that was a minute or two ago. It was, but yeah, I love track and field to this day.
Yes,
that is too. The best sport. Alrighty, Mike King, Shayy Winn. So give our person who's going through something right now some words of wisdom on ways to sort of battle back and persevere during some tough times. As we close this out, and you were going to perform. I guess that my idea with this became from a tiny desk. I wanted this to be tiny desk meets, a fun time. That way, artists have a place to come and perform. But give our listeners something to hang their hat on as they're going through some tough times.
So one thing I usually say is, because I know when I first lost my sight, what I went through was a lot of people telling me I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't do this. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. And I said, well, let me try. And I say there's a way to do everything. There's multiple ways to do everything. Just because you have to do it a little bit differently now does not mean that you're any less than the person sitting next to you. You might got to work a little bit harder, and you might have to change the entire way you do this, and you're not doing it anything like everybody else. But that's your way. You're still getting the same thing accomplished. Maybe even better than them. That's what I say.
That's what you say. All right. Everybody who comes to the program asking one question. What gives you hope?
What gives me hope? What gives me hope is all of the fans and people that saw me on the show that I inspired. I've had people come to me and tell me that I've stopped them from committing suicide or having bad thoughts about their situation. They have the same situation as me, who all have hydrocephalus, because it is hydrocephalus awareness month.
Okay, we give a shout out to that. We definitely got to big up that.
Yeah. So having.
Okay, wait. Before, let people know that's a big word.
Yeah.
Let people know exactly what that is.
Hydrocephalus is too much fluid in the brain. That's what it is. So like your brain makes too much and it gets kind of all trapped up there and it gets things to swelling up there. That's what caused me to lose my sight, because my nerves behind my eyes swell up from all the fluid being in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. So, giving you hope, that's what gives you hope. The people that you've affected, because you've been an inspiration to them. Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on the program. On the mic with Mike, Shayy Winn is here with us. You're going to stick around and perform because that's what you do, and our folks are going to enjoy it. I'll let people know how they can follow you out there, because your social media game is definitely on point.
Thank you.
Who does it for you?
I do Instagram. My mom does Facebook.
Why you do Instagram? That's where the cool people hang out?
That's because she don't know how to work Instagram. I know how to work Instagram.
I hear you, Mom. I struggle. We on the struggle bus with that one. We rolling in on Facebook where the mature folks be.
So Instagram, you can find me at Shaywin, ShayyWinn. And on Facebook, you can find me as Shayy the Singer, SHAYY the Singer.
Alrighty, and so if people want to engage you as a singer and have you perform, what's the process? What do they need to do?
The process is you can shoot me a message, because I do respond to majority of my messages, or try to. So you can send me a message and me and my mom will get back to you and let you know whatever it is, the questions that you have, the inquiries you have.
Alrighty, folks, that's what you do. Shayy Winn is here with us on the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We have friends in the house. Could you, when you get a moment? Thank you, sir. That's what we do here. 106.1 is where you find us Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., 2 to 3 on the choice. On the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We'll talk to you on the other side.